So what we need to do is we need to come together. If us as inmates in an institution can get along with all different races, all different political backgrounds, all different belief systems, in the real world, there's too much violence going on. So if here in prison, we could all come together and create this challenge of no violence, it's our message to the world that peace must come about. This must stop. We must all come together and be safe. Have a world where our children could go to school and not have to be worried about guns and violence. So this is my statement.
That voice you were just listening to, that was Alex Mendoza. He is being featured on the Starlight Peace Project on Facebook and Instagram, and he has graciously decided to come on YouTube and be a part of this interview process. So I'll be asking him a series of questions that are pre-scripted. If you have been following the Starlight Peace Project, you would know I've asked these series of questions to 7 previous individuals so far. So, Alex, the first question I have for you today is, how do you define yourself?
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I am defined by a person who's made a lot of mistakes. And through my mistakes, I've come to learn that I have to make a change in my life. I've been incarcerated, and now that I'm incarcerated, I come to find that I need to find remorse. I need to have insight. I need to have the empathy for others because I've created a lot of victims. So I define myself now as a person who has humility. I am humble, and I am seeking my higher power, which is Jesus Christ.
Where did you grow up, and how does it relate to your past violence experience?
I grew up in a city called Moreno Valley, California, in the county of Riverside, and it was infested with gang violence and drugs. And it really influenced me because in this time period, I had a mother who had caught cancer. And when she got diagnosed with cancer, it became terminal. And I didn't know how to take it. Ultimately, I lost the life of my mother, and I spiraled out of control. So being I was in a gang-infested neighborhood, involved with drugs, it really took me by storm. And I used it as a mechanism to take my anger and rage on anything and everything around me in the community. And it is something I'm very, very regretful for, and I have remorse for here today. But the city that I grew up in did have a lot of influence on me because I made bad choices and I made the wrong decisions.
Alex, who is your target audience?
The children, the youth, people who are growing up and not having direction or feel left alone or feel like they don't have someone they could turn to. And then they join these different groups or get involved in different settings and let these warped belief systems of others take control of them because of their insecurities or abandonment issues or resentments that they may have. It is very, very important that we catch the youth before they become adults, because if they become adults and follow these patterns, it just gets worse and worse by time. So my target is the youth.
Why does your no violence statement resonate with you?
Because I'm a walking, talking example. I made a lot of mistakes in my life, and due to my mistakes, a lot of people got hurt. But in my situation, I am still alive. So because I'm still alive, I have a voice. And with my voice, I must help and try to make a turnaround in all this violence that I once was a part of. So when it comes to violence, I know it very well, and I know how damaging it is. So I resonate with my statement. By the way, I've lived what I'm talking about, and I'm trying to tell people through my experience, you don't want to end up where I'm at because I have a life sentence, and I'm in prison for murder. And it's not a place where you want to be, and it doesn't want to be a part of your life, a part of your conscience, because it's something I could never, ever, ever get over. It haunts me to this day, and I don't want this for anybody else.
When did you first hear of the Starlight Peace Project?
It was immediately after all the shootings in the schools and what had taken place in Las Vegas. So here in this community here at Donovan on Echo Yard, we decided to be a voice and make a difference. So amongst a lot of fellow brothers that I have on this yard, we came together and we said, let's not just sit around and do nothing. Even though we're locked up, we can still be a voice and still make a change. So we decided to create a challenge. So now we challenge everyone to stand up and stop the violence.
Have you ever promoted no violence before? And if so, how?
That in itself is the problem. I've never promoted no violence. I always was a part of the violence. So promoting no violence is something I need to stand for now because I know that I can make a change. If I just wake up and do something about it every single day and let it be heard and let it be known that there's better ways to have conflict resolution. There's better ways to go about things. If I'm really feeling ill in my thoughts, there are professionals that you can reach out to that can help you. You just have to speak up. You have to say something. Say something to a pastor, to a doctor, to a counselor, to somebody. Reach out to somebody and say something. So I honestly can say I regret that I've never stood up for no violence and always promoted violence. But now I promote no violence.
In which ways do you promote no violence in the prison setting?
By being compassionate and kind to others, giving common courtesy, giving respect where it's not even earned. I just give it away freely. I treat everybody accordingly, and if I see somebody who needs help or is in a bad way, I reach out and I talk to them. I actually help them. I try to lead by examples. By the way I handle my situations, I talk things out. I don't answer my problems with violence. I talk things out. Communication is big. And in situations that can't be helped by my hand, it's always good to reach out to a professional, and I promote that.
Alex, this was a great interview. The last thing I'd like to ask is, do you have any final words you'd like to say to the audience of this Starlight Peace Project interview?
I hope this is taken very seriously, and I hope that I do not offend anybody by the sake that I come humbly and honestly admitting that I was a man who committed violence. I was a man who did a lot of wrongs, but I am trying to rewrite those wrongs by doing an amend process. This is my living amends, and with those I've harmed, I love to do a direct amends, and any indirect amends I may give. I am remorseful, and I'm deeply regretful for all the damage that I have caused. So I wish anybody who listens to this and hears my voice and sees what I'm talking about, that they take it serious, because we all have loved ones and we all have someone we care about, people that we worry about, that we're concerned about, that we don't want nothing bad to come to them. So please take this message seriously, and if it hits you in your spirit, in your heart, in your soul, please stand up and do something about it and be a voice. #No violence.
Those words of wisdom you just listened to, Alex Mendoza. If you like this Starlight Peace Project interview, please support us by following us on Instagram and Facebook at Starlight Peace Project.